The timer in this game starts when you start moving, so I'm just going to give a countdown and then we're just going to get into it. So let's roll. 3, 2, 1, go. So you got a double jump in this game, already a great improvement over our mobility in Lovely Planet, and we've got some like Metroid-esque power-ups to pick up. So we start out with rather limited movement options, and then they get better and better. Right here I'm going to try a trick called a super jump, and I missed it. There's a 1-frame input after you hit any jump pad, which allows you to get much greater height out of the jump pad than you could normally. And there's a couple of them, I'll point out when I'm trying them, and I'll point out if I actually get them on level 1. But the ones in level 1 are like small time saves, so it's not worth retrying if you fail. You just kind of carry on with the backup. But there's a couple that I have to get later, so we may be going up and down on a jump pad for a while later on. So here's another attempted super jump. And I got it that time, which is pretty nice. I actually rarely get that one. So it takes me straight up here rather than having to go further around. And then I died. That's pretty sick. Alright, let's try it again. There, I was just giving you an example of how much less height you get when you don't get a super jump. So instead we're going to do a trick called corner boosting. Normally you shouldn't be able to jump this high to get up here yet. It's meant to only be able to, you're meant to only be able to get here once you have dash. But you can kind of trick the game into thinking you're not actually in the air when you're running into a corner. So if you have any intersection of walls in this game, you can jump a fair amount higher than you could normally. And another thing about this game is there's multiple paths throughout all these levels, and 100% run of this involves switching between the paths to pick up all these collectibles. So any of these like blue things or yellow things, I gotta get them all for 100%, which makes it kind of interesting how you get to move around. And another thing is, the one primarily run category of this game is called any percent glitchless. I just tried a trick called a mega jump there. I'll explain that in a bit once I finish my current thought. But any percent glitchless disallows the use of mega jumping, which is a trick where you fall into a jump pad from above and then you press jump on the right frame. And it essentially doubles your height. It basically takes the height you fell from and then adds the jump pad's height to that and gives it back to you. So you can really break some levels, and I'll show after the run like one extremely broken level with mega jumping. But in 100%, mega jumps are fair game because they don't actually let you skip like the entire level. They just let you get around in the level a little bit better. And some levels without mega jumping, 100% would be really rough, like especially in level 3. But we're almost done with level 1 here. Yeah, so I have all the pickups now, and we just need to hit the end. Alright. So now we're into level 2. I will note that it's possible to get all of the collectibles in level 2 in the first cycle here, but it's slower to do it. It's better to come back. It's better to just basically rush to the end of the level and then come back with more power-ups, because it's so quick to do the start of the level once you have dash. So I'm going to skip some stuff. I nearly fell off. Holy smokes. And we're just going to try to get to the end of the level. So this is the first mega jump that I have to get. And if I get it on first try, it looks really awesome. And I did not. So we gotta bounce up and down on this jump pad till I get a mega jump. It'll be very obvious when I do. But like I said, it's a 1-frame trick. The good news is I can fail this like 15 times before I actually start losing time, because the other route for this is really long. We're skipping like several long block climbing sequences if I get it. This is the only one that's like really required and really difficult. So soon enough we should get it. But in the meantime, we just gotta chill out and bounce up and down on this jump pads. How you guys all doing? You can see why it would be nice to get this on the first try. One of these days. Alright. Marathon luck / skill, right? Well, we're chilling, we're bouncing, we're jump padding. We're trying to jump on the correct frame. There it goes. So that's a mega jump. And you can see why this breaks some levels. Because I could go back to that jump pad from this height and jump basically straight to the end of the level, but I don't have dash, so I couldn't quite make it. But if you have dash in this level, you just do 2 mega jumps off of there, and that's that. After the run, I'll show off some sick mega jumps. Normally I'd skip this checkpoint, but I'm just gonna pick it up because if I die, I would cry tears of many sadness. So like, basically that insane jump there, that's just a single mega jump. And you need to use up your double jump to do it, so you can't just bounce up and down on a pad, you have to touch the ground. But you can like use the height that you got off of a mega jump, and then like do another mega. I'm gonna try 1 mega here, but I'm only gonna try it once. I'm just gonna go around now, because that one doesn't save that much time. So I'm just gonna go the long way. But it would have saved a little bit of time if I got it the first try. But I'm not gonna sit around on jump pads all day and bounce up and down. But essentially, I would have ended up going to the top of this part if I had gotten that mega jump. Instead, we just gotta go around. It's alright. And that's the end of level 2. Now, of course, I missed a bunch of power-ups in level 2. But I'm gonna go back for them after I finish level 4, essentially. I'm gonna go back and just speed through it really quick. I did work out a route for level 2 to get it without having to go 2 passes, but it takes so long to walk around on that level without dash, so that's that. So I'm going to show you this after the run, but this jump pad here is that you can finish this level off of that jump pad if you do 2 consecutive mega jumps on it. But now we have dash, which has some useful properties. So one thing about dash is when you dash, it basically sets your vertical speed to 0. So you can do this like sort of fluttering technique to cross these long gaps. I'm gonna try and make a jump here. I got it. I don't have any dash to cut my vertical speed because I ran out, so we gotta go all the way up and back down. So in addition to crossing long gaps, let me just do that part properly. Alright, let's just get this checkpoint. A useful property is, wow. Alright, we're getting there. We're making all the mistakes, but we're getting there. So, if you dash into a jump pad like I had been, you kind of hold the jump pad speed. Like, gravity doesn't really affect you while you're dashing, So you can do this thing called like dash jumping, which gives you similar height to a super jump, but doesn't take, you know, a frame perfect input to do. You just dash through jump pad. Super simple. And one thing I will note is, like, I got that mega jump earlier on the first try, but it's a lot easier to do a mega jump on an inactive jump pad, because you shoot the jump pad and then you jump, like, one frame after. But it's like your timing, essentially. As opposed to, you know, hitting an active jump pad. Oh my god. Not like this. Because when you do it on an active jump pad, it's basically like you have to jump the frame you hit it. But when you time it with your own activation of the jump pad, it's a lot easier. So I messed up. So we're going to see a backup strat called a corner boost. Or a slope boost, if you will, but it's just off the very corner of this thing. Which is another thing that dashing lets us do. If you dash into a curved surface, you can transfer some of the horizontal component of your dash into vertical speeds. You can gain height off of it, which lets you skip a lot of stuff, pretty much. So we'll say that I died there because I just wanted to show off that corner boost, because it's cool. Alright. Just run into all the lasers. I'm just gonna run into that laser again. Don't worry about it. I'm like a moth, attracted to the light. Okay. I might not have the height, but I still have my double jump. We're in there. And once again, we're gonna go off of the beaten path and head over to a spark path that we can't do. These, I guess I could say, these blue power-ups are called sparks. You're generally meant to get them after you've already beaten the game. They're like alternate paths. But because we blatantly abuse our ability to do super and mega jumps, we can just like skip over all the actual parts of this path. So there I just bounced on that jump pad to get height, and then I did a mega jump off of it after I'd done it, so I don't actually have to do this long spark path, which would require me to have power-ups from level 4. Instead we can just fly across the level and continue our journey to pick up all the blue and yellow power-up crap things. I might be a little low on dash here. Okay, made it. Those cubes are out to get me. Normally they're more kind than that. Alright, so that's the last power up on this level. I'm going to do a mega jump off of this jump pad. Now we just wait for one more of these. You can never beat that one. Don't try it. That's the end of level 3. So now we're into level 4. This is when this game gets disorienting. I'm going to try a mega jump here just once. I didn't get it. It's not a big deal though. You lose a couple seconds to try it. It saves only a couple seconds if you get it. But that's life. So instead we're going to curve boost. We're going to curve boost. We're going to actually curve boost, I swear. Alright, there we go. And now we pick up Gmod, which we'll use in a sec, but first we just have to go back over here, pick up that. I've lost the run by forgetting about that. So Gmod lets you shoot these white boxes and modify gravity. Now we also have dash refill, which lets us go basically dash almost freely. You can dash a lot more. So this level is incredibly disorienting the first few times you do it, because you're constantly flipping your perspective. Stuff like that can happen. You'd be like, where did I just go? Camera's just spinning everywhere. Alright. And here's another thing. Okay, so when you pick up a checkpoint in this game, it modifies the height of the laser. Like there's a laser field at the bottom of each level, which basically just makes it so that when you fail and you fall off, you don't fall so far before you die and get sent back, basically. But because we're alternating between routes, I actually have to skip a whole bunch of checkpoints there, because for this long flutter across the gap, we need the lasers to be low enough for me to actually be able to land at the end. So you have to skip a bunch of checkpoints there. So if you die in that sequence, it's like, it's really sad. I don't quite have a checkpoint yet, but soon. Soon I will, right here. Just carry on. Oh man, am I gonna beat it? Okay, we're in trouble. Just do it. Do an extra lap. Okay, we're alive. Nearly getting annihilated by lasers. Now a fun thing is, you used to be able to do a thing in this game called gravity flings, which has since been patched out. But essentially what a gravity fling is when you were in a gravity field, acceleration applied to you a little bit differently, and when your game was paused, you continued to accelerate even though the game was paused. So what you would do to beat levels was, like, you would find an appropriate gravity field, and then you would pause in it for, like, 20 seconds to a minute. And then you would unpause and, like, fly to the end, basically. So that was kind of silly. That was, like, a category that was, that trick wasn't allowed in all categories, obviously, because it's even more broken than mega jumping, but here we have another really, really long flutter. That's like the longest one in the game, pretty much. And this is a funny boost that only gets used here. This is my favorite. You jump and get shot by this to shoot you up to this platform, which unlocks a new path, but you're not meant to be able to get up there until you have, like, the rocket jumping ability from level 5, as it can be seen by the fact that I needed to use an enemy's shot to get myself there, and you can't actually really do that path without it. I just wanted the pickup. I'm actually going to go into the end of it later, but I can't actually really do that route. So, I did just nearly dash into a laser. That would have been painful. All right, so here, rather than completing this rather tedious section of long upside-down gravity fields, we end up at the end of the spark path I just picked up, which has these nice gigantic jump pads instead. Much more my style. Alright. So that's almost all the power-ups in this level now. There's one more that's at the end. A big dash jump here. Apologies for the camera movement. Oh shoot, I forgot the setup for this. You can like hang out on the outside of this. That one's new. We used to have to actually dodge in that field. It was horrible. Now we're gonna do curve boost. More dash jumping. Need my dash back. I need to actually jump. Alright, so it should be said, as I'm approaching the end of level 4 here, there's a part relatively early on in level 5 where I have to clip through a wall. And you do 3 wall clips in level 5. Oh, come on. Don't do a curve boost there. What is that? But, okay, so there's 3 wall clips in level 5. The first one causes the screen to, like, violently flash. Like, it's really bad. So I'll warn you before it happens. But, yeah, it's violent flashing now. I guess I kind of forgot. I have to go back to level 2 now. So it won't happen for a little bit, but now we're just gonna do the... We're gonna finish up the level 2 power-ups. Post-haste. Oh my god. I should have been able to get a better curve boost there, but it didn't happen, so we're just gonna go this way. Sometimes the curve boosts, they forsake you. Sometimes you don't jump. Alright, so now we pick up this power up from before. We don't have to do any frame perfect stuff on this, because now we have dash, so we can just do a dash jump and get the height we needed. And now we're just in log collection mode. So there's one. There's me bumping into a wall. There's another. There's the spark, and there's one, I guess 2 more things on this level. If I could endeavor to not die, it would go much better. Did you miss Lovely Planet? Unfortunately so. Alright, so that's the last pickup on level 2. So you can't get all that stuff without dash, but it's really not great to do it because it's so much faster with dash. Alright, so now we're on level 5. Do a nice little corner boost there, pick up the spark, and then dash jump over here. I used my double jump? No, I didn't. Sometimes you hear the double jump sound even though you didn't use it. So now we have the rocket jump ability. So we've got all the movement techniques in the game now. Not that rocket jumping is particularly useful. In fact, you can beat the game without it. And I think half the people that play this game never find the rocket jump because you can just go to the right at the start. And you don't actually need it to progress anywhere. It just makes things more convenient. Alright. Okay, so this wall clip is coming up shortly. So, as I was saying before, the screen is going to flash violently. So if it bothers you, look away, and I'll tell you when it's done. But it's going to be like for a few seconds here, assuming I get into the wall. There it is. I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Okay, it's done. That won't happen again. Oh man, yeah, that's painful. But you do the wall clip 2 more times, and those walls are not as mean, so they don't flash. Now in 80% glitchless, this wall clip is also banned because it really trivializes this level, as you can see. But at least in 100%, like, we have to play enough of this level. I'd practically be done if I didn't have pickups to still get. I guess I could talk about the theme of this, like, you know, the fact that I'm clipping into the elevator right above where I was. Basically what you're supposed to do with this level is go out from the, like, central platform and activate these generators, which just opens the door to the elevator. But because we can go through the wall, we don't need to deal with any of that noise. But the generator pads are pretty fun. So I definitely do enjoy myself some glitchless runs. Oh god. Oh god. Don't kill me. Alright. That was spooky. I skip a bunch of checkpoints there so that I can reset to get to the start faster, but if you die in that sequence, which I nearly did like 3 times, it's really bad. You lose a lot of time. So now, we're taking advantage of the fact that the level 3 checkpoints don't raise the laser field past level 1. So rather than actually doing parts of the lower floors of this level, I'm just getting to the level 3 checkpoints, then I'm falling and picking up the power-ups from there. So this is just like a sequence of dash fluttering. This is a nice time you get to chill out in your run, basically. You can see, like, you can go so far with the boost, or the dash recharge. It's like the place I'm landing on isn't even rendered when I start the dash flutter. Alright, so that's the last power-up on level 2. And we're going up the... that might... yeah, that's not gonna work. You want to keep, like, just a hair of dash there, because if you run your dash out fully, then you have to wait for it to recharge fully before you can like use any dash again. Alright, so that's the last power up on level 3, and the only thing left in the game is one thing all the way back down on level 1, so we've got a long fall ahead of us. But this is actually faster than doing the route out here normally. Alright, there we can see it below us, so let's just fall for a bit. Thankfully there's no fall damage in this game. Alright, so there it is. Now, one more dash jump. I didn't exactly want to run out there, but it doesn't matter, I can still make it across. Because dash recharge is a great power-up. One more wall clip. And this is going to be time as soon as I hit the top here. There it is. That's time.